Now, as we've been doing since the beginning of this week, ever wondered where that mutton or meat on your dining table came from? For a fact, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly and health inspectors in the country have done very little to ensure abattoirs operate in sane conditions.
For over 2 years, for instance, an illegal abattoir in Medina has existed. Odilofori looks at the dangers to residents and consumers.
We got wind of the activities of this illegal abattoir from neighbors. They operated as early as 1 a.m. till 6:30. The house was our conduit as we tiptoed to avoid the illegal operators from catching us. The revelation was shocking. Tires were set on fire to aid work, and by 2 a.m., slaughtering got underway. And clearly, health inspectors from the city authority and veterinarians were absent, although stipulated. In some cases, the fetus of a bred cattle are dumped into this gutter. Water from the same gutter, by the way, is relied on to clean the meat. The operator we picked up takes 4 cities from others and operates the place as a major slaughterhouse. He was apparently sacked from another hideout in Medina, and as for the past 2 years, made Medina, Washington an abode. The carcass is washed in this area with the unclean water right by this bathhouse. Feces from the house runs through the same gutter. In no time, the meat was ready for the Medina market on a tricycle. We decided to go to the abattoir when the sky was clear. This was the condition, a general and sanitary condition. The operator's wife claimed her husband had traveled to bring more sheep. Oscar suffers the most from the operations of the illegal abattoir. Ironically, he works with the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Is this right?
It's not right. You know, at first it was Abu Kubi who takes care of this place. I went to tell the sanitary officer at Medina, and he said he will come and look at it.
And you told him when, and has he come?
He hasn't come.
Odilofori.
Responsible for the death of a baby of an innocent woman. Doctors have warned her current pregnancy is at risk if she does not leave the neighborhood.
TV3 Investigates gathers while Wafia is not the only pregnant woman in danger. Other neighbors are forced to sell their properties to avoid being smoked out by the illegal abattoir.
A family severely affected by the slaughterhouse waited to take TV3 through its ordeal. The Smani's residence was welcoming by 3:45 a.m. A neighbor operated the illegal abattoir. He did not only rid the Smanis of comfort, but left them with nightmarish tales. Before TV3 Investigates was contacted, they had gone to the police, Food and Drugs Authority, and the Environmental Protection Agency. All 3 institutions were dead horses. The family took turns to take us through their ordeal. The first victim was Rafia, the 4th of 5 children. Rafia's baby was still born at 8 months. Her mother, a midwife, will not mince words.
I believe strongly that it was due to the drugs that she took plenty during the first trimester. And you know that one to come bring about stillbirth. And you know the smoke, what it contains in the thigh. Burning of the thigh, we have several elements there, and that one is injurious to the health of the patient.
The smoke from the abattoir was connected to the fatal death. She is pregnant again and cannot, for the life of her, put the unborn child and herself through another nerve-wracking episode. This pushed her to film the activities of the abattoir as a lead for TV3 Investigates. So exactly what happened to that pregnancy?
That week when I had the miscarriage, what happened was I couldn't breathe. So I went and I complained. So my sister had to send me to the hospital. They detained me whole night. The man was burning. So early dawn, my breathing ceased. So they had to rush me to the hospital. When I went, I was dehydrated and very weak. I was unconscious. So the 2 days they had to give me drugs. They said they had to save my life first because the baby had died in my stomach.
Her 3-year-old daughter has developed an incurable rash as a result of the smoke billowing from the abattoir.
I was battling with her skin rashes, and I went to the clinic and they said I should watch what she wears and what she eat. So looking at things, I normally wash a school uniform in the evening. Daytime, you see black particles, and I never knew it was coming from the tie bent. So when I observed that and I stopped doing, her skin rashes is gone. And the children's hospital, they gave me drugs and injection for her, and she's now okay.
Scientists draw a link between pollution and asthmatic attacks, premature death, cardiopulmonary disease and cancer. Mercy Smani has asthma. She expends 700 cedis during every attack.
You might even die in your room. Almost about 500 Ghana cedi. And then ventilator inhaler is almost 100. So how can you live your life? You collect your salary, and then every month you have to budget for drugs. Because when I have my attack, ever since when I was staying at 37, I never experienced this bouts of attack until I moved in here.
The abattoir has stopped many from moving to the community. Habiba tells us after hearing of Rafia's miscarriage, a neighbor refused to move in with his pregnant wife.
He actually acquired a property over a year. He hasn't moved in because where the activity is taking place is right behind his bedroom window. And he has a pregnant wife. So after listening to my sister's story, he didn't want to take chances. He also has 2 kids, a boy and a girl under the age of 4. So it's injurious to their health. He didn't want to take chances of moving in and having to battle health issues.
Musa Smani, the head of the family, said the entire neighborhood had run out of patience and will take drastic measures if the appropriate bodies refuse to act immediately.
We are not stopping. If we don't get the results, we might have to mobilize a mob action. Because there are such people, that is the language they understand. You use undemocratic means to make sure democracy works.
Oscar bore the brunt most. His walls and rooms are covered in smoke. He was so frustrated he had sold the property.
I decided to sell it because even my small boy is having a problem. I think the area is not good for him. So that's why I decided to sell it.
From dead fetus to intestines, stray dogs carry them into these gutters. Neighbors told us this is becoming overbearing. Medina, Washington risks becoming a haunted area as people sell or abandon their properties. Odile Fori, TV3 investigates.
So shocking revelations over there. Well, if you're living in an area where you have an illegal abattoir sited over there, tell us about your experience over there. Send us your comments at Facebook or twitter.com/news on TV.
Right, or you may also report it to your local or municipal authorities to take action. 24 hours after TV3 investigates discovered an illegal abattoir in Medina, the operators have promised to move the facility.
But neighbors fear if a more permanent solution is not found, the operator may go back to his legal activity.
Tuesday, October 8, this was a busy illegal abattoir we exposed. Wednesday, October 9, there was no show. Operators did not work. From our hideouts, we noticed an empty abattoir, though neighbors say it was supposed to be a busy one since it was a market day. We gathered from 1 a.m. Others brought their livestock to be slaughtered, but were turned away by the operator following our report. After taking our shots, we decided to find the operator and ask more questions. He had brought 4 cows to be slaughtered, but could not. From what he told us, he was remorseful and promised to move elsewhere. But my question was, another place to operate illegally?
There are some places where people
na ada na mu gugusu na mo ye adwuma no ase e me fo ama permit
in the young cutting shots ye twin enu ekoi the young cutting shots
by ndra who story no and I say obi can story na kire wo no na wo say ade no affect wo neighbors no ba.
Oh, any de enye se wo kan utie enye mi de enye mi de say me so me disturb they are my neighbors.
When we spoke to neighbors, they were glad that our stories had yielded some results, but feared if the appropriate authorities did not come in, the slaughterhouse will begin operations again.
Because of no mobile hunting, one of us or TV it's very difficult.
I wish it should be like this because this has been it has caused a lot of inconvenience for us. For now, I think for today it's okay. Because
why much pound one obejane nti asramo mo be mamu fa mu nanti for mo bon pa na rade ntum nkwadem mo fa ne nkọ ba bibia mo be kwa ye ho betoye no mo yire mo se papa no ne betwe nansi oto aha bon.
We were at the Medina Municipal Authority to find out whether the case had come before them and what they were doing about it. We learned a complaint had been lodged by the neighbors, but no action had been taken yet. TV3 Investigates will be following this case as the appropriate person to speak with was not available.
Well, definitely, that's a concerned citizen and a patriot as such. And we want you to engage the issues in your community and then also be able to
The Medina Municipal Assembly has served notice to the operator of the legal abattoir at Medina, Washington, after TV3 investigated and covered the activities.
They indicate the operator cannot be prosecuted because he was not caught in the act.
TV3 Investigates report on the Medina, Washington slaughterhouse. The Lanquantanan Municipal Assembly has served the operator with notice to stop his illegal operation. They were worried the neighbors had not reported the case earlier to receive quick response.
On Tuesday, 8 October, we received a petition from the residents. And then I asked them, why have they sat down all this while before reporting? And they said they are neighbors. And sometimes you have to be circumspect when you are doing some of these things. I said, okay, well, we will take steps to address it. So far we have gone there to inspect the place and then serve the owner with a notice to put an immediate stop to that illegal activity.
Joseph Kwaku added the operator has also been asked to relocate his animals which are on the compound, but I was shocked he was not going to be prosecuted.
What we do is that you serve the person with a notice to stop. If the person doesn't stop, then you can take further steps to arrest him. Unfortunately, this thing did not come to our notice. If it had gotten to our notice, then we could have taken steps to probably organize a swoop whilst the action was going on with the police to arrest them. Because I understand it is done around 1 a.m. Yes. So in that case, then we need the collaboration from the police because we work between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The law does not allow us to go beyond 6 p.m. unless, of course, there's a special case.